Hey, what's up, everybody? So the prices are a little bit down today, maybe a lot down. We'll talk about it. XRP is doing pretty well, despite the carnage over in the altcoin market. I think we're at those that, we took the lows, right? And I think we're at the final stages, and I'll show you why. I could be wrong, right? Nothing I say is financial advice, and let's jump into it. So, XRP, right? Nothing's changed, really. We still got our impulse, a three-wave move down, a three-wave move up, and a five-wave move down, which means that this is a three-wave correction. You can look at it as an ABC, right? And then this is a 1, that could be a 2, this could be a 1, that could be a 2, this could also be a 1, that could be a 2. So this could be a nest of 1-2s, right? Which is extremely bullish. You can also see, we pump up, right? We flag out, we pump up, we flag out, we pump up. Let's see if we can flag out again. I mean, that's really kind of what I see here is going on here. So we're still making low, higher, low, higher, low, higher, low, high, higher, high, higher highs, right? We're still trending up after this correction. So we did have a pretty nasty dump, but if you look at where it dumped, it actually dumped right back into our little accumulation box. So we had a pump, we had a three-wave pullback, we accumulated sideways, we broke out, and then we had another three-wave all the way down and back tested this little box in here. And then since then, look at the reaction we got off of that bounce. So we bounced, we held here, and we bounced pretty significantly, right? So now maybe let's flag out a little bit and then continue. That's kind of how I'm thinking here. But other than that, nothing's really changed. It looks pretty good. What we could do is kind of draw a little bit of a channel here. And, let's see if we can establish some type of structure that lets us know, right? We got point A, we got point B, and now we're going to be right here in point C. So that's our retracement level. That's always the tricky part, right? If we look at the super small time frames, I mean, look at that. We got a bullish engulfing 5-minute candle. Not that it matters. But, yeah, we see, obviously that's a 5-wave move. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That could be an A. We had 1, 2, 3. That could be a B. And then we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or even 5 here. That could be a C. Very bullish. And then we impulse to the upside. That could be a 1. And now we're flagging out potentially here for a wave 2. And then a continuation. So let's see if that sticks. We're pumping right now. Looks good. By the way, Alessio Rastani put a video out today, and I'm gonna definitely respond to him because it's just one of those things where I'm not going to get into it today, but he's a great person. He's a very great trader, successful guy. I definitely subscribe. He's great. But when it comes to XRP, it's a little bit questionable. So he's really changed his positions a lot over the last 6 months, right? And anyways, maybe we'll entertain that, but who cares? So, but to his point, he's thinking this is a top, and it could be a top, right? This could be a top, right? He suggested it was a top. But if you watch his videos, he says that he's not saying it's a top, even though he's saying all of the things that would say it is a top. If it is a top, then what we can see here, bearishly, is, and he might be right, is we have, well, this would be actually a 3. 1, 2, 3, right? That could be a W or an A. We'll just say an A, right? And then we have this here, which could be a B. And then we come down, which could be a C, and then go up. I don't really like that because you got 5 in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it looks like a rising wedge. It looks like a diag. It could be a diagonal, and I don't like diagonals in B waves or as you go through the retracement levels, right? Because typically these things break down. And if it does break down, it's probably going to come right back to like $2 and then continue higher. And then what you have is a rise, crash, retrace. You come down into reaccumulation, you go sideways, right? And then you continue higher. So we're definitely not out of the woods yet, guys. We're definitely not out of the woods yet. But if you kind of compare it to Bitcoin here, and you look at the structure, you could kind of see some similarities in here, right? So you could see, right, you got this, you know, sort of this 3-way move down, right? And basically kind of flush the lows in here. And then what's really important is this part right here, right? So you have your bottom, and you have like this 3 up, you come down, right? You shoot the high here. Same thing here, you shoot the high. And then you kind of flag out a little bit. Same thing here, you flag out. And then what do? You sort of break it, right? You break out a little bit. And this actually came down and back tested the flag. This sort of back tested the high. So you could see right here, we actually took the high. This did not take the high. We came up and we came back below the high. So that's the only concerning part. That's the only part I don't like. Right? Everything else looks pretty good, but we need to reclaim this high here, which is right at $1.47. And we're right there. Let's see if we could do it. We need to stay above. Let me just do this here. So here's your line, boom. And then here's your line, boom. Right there. Boom, boom. All right, so we're sort of consolidating in here. So we want to see it continue. So that's pretty much it. So now, yeah, that's pretty much it for XRP. Anything bearish related? Well, the only thing bearish I could see would be if this is like some ABC in here and we get rejected in here. Or it could even come up and then come back down into a reaccumulation structure, right? So, you know, it's up for debate what that could look like and what that could be. But for now, everything looks good. Remember, it's Monday. Usually Sundays and Mondays have been kind of, yeah. But we really want to gear up towards the end of the week. So if we can see a nice rally Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, somewhere around there, it's going to bring hope into the market, because that's what we want. We don't want to pump in the beginning of the week. We want to pump at the end of the week. Why? Because you have the weekly close on Sunday. So yeah, so let's see how this plays out. You can also look at it as a triangle that we broke out, A, B, C, D, or actually, yeah, A, B, C, and then D, and then E, right? We broke out when we're back testing the top of the supply line, and flipping it as support. And then hopefully a continuation. So far, so good. Let's see how it plays. Bitcoin, let me show you Bitcoin here. And I'm going to show you in terms of a fractal. So we're going to go to Matic. And we're going to go to the, let's see. Actually, let's do this chart here. And we'll go there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to flip it upside down. So you see that structure there? Look at that, guys. Looks pretty good. So you could see it doesn't matter if it's inverted, but you can see it. Let's just say it's right side up. This was very bullish, right? You had this kind of divergence in here. You flushed the low. It kind of looks like a top in here, right? I mean, it kind of looks like a head and shoulders. And then you kind of make this three-wave move down. You make this three-wave move down, right? So it's essentially a flat. So you have 1, 2, 3, or sorry, I had to do something. Or you can see it kind of like, 3 there, you got 3 there, and you got maybe 5 here. So boom, boom, boom. So some kind of like expanded flat. Same thing in here, but it looks more like a running flat. So yeah, you can kind of compare and contrast. I mean, they're a little bit there's differences in here, but more or less it's kind of a similar structure. And if this is the case, then maybe we're somewhere right along here, right? Following that three-wave move. So then you pump, pull back. So what we're going to want to see, probably it's got to happen this week, I would imagine, or even maybe next week at the latest, is get some kind of pump in here, and then kind of flag out a little bit, and then continue, right? Because if the altcoins, we need some kind of resolve in this range in here, right? So we're just testing the lows, So maybe Michael Saylor might cough up a couple bill and, pump it up a little bit here. I don't know. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm seeing here for Bitcoin. Now, if we look at it bearishly, we could say that, obviously you have your head and shoulders, the measured move of that. And I don't think it is a head and shoulders, but if it is, I mean, we can be looking at ballpark somewhere around, maybe 80K or so. So that's kind of my only problem here. And if we did something like that, then I would imagine from there, this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We would get some type of retracement back to the upside. And that retracement could be a big, huge pump for the altcoins, right? And then even better, if we break that retracement, it'll be even better. Or it'll be an A, B, and a C, right? So kind of like 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, and then you have 3, and then you have A, B, C for a 4, and then you go up and set that wave 5, maybe around March or April, and then it's done, right? Or this could resolve itself in here, and we can get our 4th wave in here, because this is a 4th wave, right? And if it's not a 4th wave, then it's the top of the 5th, right? Because you can also say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But it just doesn't make sense because you have this as a 1, 2. This should all be 3. This should be 4, and we still need 5. So it could take a while. 4th wave ranges are very complex. It's very hard to know exactly how they're going to play out. But one thing is concerning here is that we're teetering on the edge of this line, right? So we kind of broke it in here. It's a kind of a nice wick. We have some lower lows, but no divergence. Let's see, on the 6 hour. Yeah, even the 4 hour, there's nothing there. But I like the 4 hour chart. I mean, I like this right in here. That looks pretty good. So it's kind of a, if we can kind of range in here and start rounding up, it's going to look really good. I want to see a nice rounded bottom, right? Otherwise, you know, if this is a breakdown, then if we break below it and then we come back up and we get rejected in here, which we haven't yet, but if we get rejected, then we can look for a lower price. Maybe something like A, B, and then C down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But this wave here is pretty long, so I don't really like it as a wave 1. But you never know, you know, so we'll see. So we're still kind of tracking this fractal in here, right? There's several of them, but you can just look at dot right here, right? So you have this 3 up, looking at V chain 2, right? 3 up. And then you come down, you come back up, you come back up. And then you come here to support, and then you kind of flag out. You come here to support, you flag out, and then bam, you flush the low. Bam, that's exactly what we did today. Guys, this could be around the bottom in here. I don't know if you can't say for certain, not financial advice. I could be totally wrong. We could go to 0. I don't know. But based off this structure, it looks pretty compelling that we could be very close. Maybe another low, maybe another couple lows. But I think we're not too far off from where this could be. So if I take a, let's try this. If I do a trend-based fib extension here, from here to here, you can see we pretty much hit the 1-to-1. If I do the same thing here, we're a little bit beyond the 1-to-1. So we're pretty much right where we should be if this thing wants to turn around soon. There's also, let's see here. If we can look at Litecoin for a minute. And then we also, you could see Algorand, right? So if you look at Algorand, we kind of have the same type of move, right? Boom, 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 boom. Come down, you flag out. You come down, you flag out. You flush the low, you flush the low. This could be a hardcore reversal, just like what we saw back over here. You can see we've been selling pretty aggressively for a while, right? Since the beginning of January. So basically January's been a massive bearish month, right? So we should be setting up hopefully for a bullish February. But yeah, January's pretty much been down. Okay. So, you know, we could get pretty close here if this thing's gonna play out. So you can also see similar things in dot, right? Looking at algo, right? So we took out all of this just like we did back over here. But if this is going to be the case, we need to really reverse fast and furious. So we'll see if we could do that. Now, some of them have like taken out their lows, right? Which could be a little bit concerning. Like, for example, Jupiter here. You know, we completely took the low here. Whereas like back over here in THETA, we never took that low. So there is some problems on some charts, but I know what is a bit, you know, concerning is the DXY is continuing to pump higher. So this thing needs to slow down because it looks pretty scary, right? I mean, you got an impulse, you got a 3-wave pullback. So this thing could be just charging. I don't know. Hopefully it's not, but we'll have to wait and see. We draw a trend Fibonacci area. We're right at the 702. So I'm hoping we get some resistance in here. I mean, this could be the area, you know, that we topped for the DXY, and it also could be the area that we bottomed for crypto, right? So you could see kind of the same thing happen with theta over here. Something like that, right? Bottom, maybe this could be the bottom, and it could be the top for the DXY. It's possible. So we just have to wait and we have to see. The first thing we need to do is hold these lows in here for theta. If we could do that, and we can establish some kind of base, like I said, yesterday, yesterday's video, I said it just doesn't look right to me. It doesn't look complete. It doesn't look finished. It's not giving me a nice rounded bottom. It is kind of going sideways, which is good, but it just seemed like it was a bear flag. And sure enough, it was. So maybe this could be 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we get one more 5. So if we take the low one more time, that should be the last wave. If it's not, then we got bigger problems, right? So yeah, it's just kind of a waiting game to see. Let's see here. Yeah, we got a nice sort of WXY. So WX, and then we have Y. And this right here is an ABC, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, obviously it looks pretty good. And you got some massive bullish divergence. Is it on the 4-hour? It's on the 4-hour as well. So let's see if we hold the lows here. I like this going on. You know, you have a big red candle, then a big green candle, right? So it's kind of consolidating in here. So looking at XDC, actually looks pretty bullish because we're nowhere near the lows. So XDC is looking good. I haven't even looked at it in a while, and I should have been paying attention. Yeah, it's like almost breaking out time for XDC. It actually looks pretty good. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to happen right away. I mean, we got this 3-wave move here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got a 3-wave pullback, right? This also could be an ABC though, right? So it could be 3 down and then 3 up, and then maybe we get like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down, or even 3, and then consolidate and go like a rise, crash, retrace, reaccumulation, sideways, then breakout. The larger time frames, it's a little bit concerning because you have some bearish divergence though. See, that's the only problem I see here. So this could end up being some kind of flat or some kind of running flat if that divergence is going to play out. Or it could just be ready to be like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Or 1, 2, 3, and then we have an ABC 4 and then 5. It's a tough one yet. We just have to wait. Do have a lot of support down in here. If we had to come back and retest that before continuing. CRV. Looks pretty good still. You know, you got a 1, you got a 2, you got a 3, and now we're flagging out for a 4. Let's see if we can go up and get 5. The small time frames. Yeah, we got an ABC working here. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Not saying the low's in yet, but it looks pretty good. I mean, you got 3 down, you got 3 up, and then maybe this could be 1, 2, 3, 4, and then maybe we're getting 5 in here. Right? I mean, 5 could break the low and still be okay. Be a zigzag, right? Form a little bit of a base, and then continue higher. So, we're getting close, I think. We got divergence there and there. So, I don't know. I think someone requested this. I'm not sure. PHX, but it looks like maybe this one is what it is. Yeah, there's not really much here. You got an impulse and you're kind of drizzling down. So maybe we can get back and break that downward resistance line and get back in here. So the one I really want to talk about, guys, is Monero, because this thing did not even flinch during all of the carnage we just saw. Like if you look at ADA or THETA or Filecoin or Matic or all of them, they pretty much got decimated through in here, right? You know, we started out looking good. We came up here, we flagged out looking really good. We came up, right? We wanted to flag out, but we came back down. But it's okay because it was following that fractal we were looking at. But we've had some pretty aggressive selling. But during that aggressive selling, you can see Monero is kind of just chilling. Like, it's nothing to Monero, right? Now, we're still not confirmed yet. This thing could still break down. It could be a bear flag. It could be an accumulation structure. It's tough to know right now, but that's why we zoom out. When we zoom out, this thing looks bullish, more bullish than ever. So you can see right there, if you look at, for example, Ethereum, looks pretty similar, doesn't it? You have a rise, crash, retrace, reaccumulation. You go sideways for a long time. By the way, the same structure XRP made, Amazon, all of them, before blast off. And if you look at Monero side by side, look how beautiful that looks. You got your little point right there, a little bit of a range right there. So, let me just grab a screenshot in here. There we go. So, we could be, you know, further along. Like, see here, we kind of came out, and then we kind of came back in, and then went up. What if we come out, and then we come back in, and then go up? We could do that, right? And it could just be way longer in time. Or we could be breaking out now. It's always the question, right? So if we kind of look in here, let's see if there's anything here. Honestly, Monero looks even better than Ethereum did when it broke out, but essentially, I mean, not really. You kind of have this little pump and then boom, pump and then boom, right? You break out, you back test, you break out, you back test, and then look at this right here. I didn't even notice that. Right there and right there, guys. Come on now. That's pretty impressive to me. So if we get one of these guys coming up soon, whoa, that's going to change things dramatically. All right. So anyways, I just wanted to point out Monero. It's not a, like, nobody really cares about Monero. It's not a fun, new, super duper AI, whatever coin to invest in. But the chart says, hey, maybe this thing could be pretty powerful as far as how it breaks out and things like that. Remember, it didn't really go on a bull run last cycle. You know, it kind of just did what Ethereum or XRP did, which is just kind of go into a retracement. It never really went into price discovery. It came up here, it barely took the high. But if you look at how big that rally is, it was pretty beautiful. It was a pretty big rally. But what's more important is that when you pulled back, you didn't really pull back that much. Like a lot of coins, they pulled back here. Like Algorand came all the way below its C19 low. So you want to look for coins that have shallow retraces. That shows strength. So yeah, this is kind of this is actually one of my favorite charts right now. You know, I'd be XRP number 1, Monero number 2, as far as my favorite charts. That could change. That could change today. So, yeah, let's see. I like that money signal. Ching! Yeah, I mean, hey, God's timing, right? God's timing. So, anyways, that's it for this video. I think let's take a look at Bitcoin dominance real quick. Yeah, see, that's the problem, is Bitcoin dominance. We don't want that to go up. Jeez, we want it to go down, right? So we could have like see, I don't like this because it looks like a diag. And it looks like a 3-wave pullback. And that looks like a 1 and a 2. And this could be a 3 and a 4 and a... I mean, that could be pretty big. Or this could be a crash, a retrace, and then kind of like a wave 1, and then we have a wave 2, and then we kind of come down into a wave 3, 4, and 5. Or we have some type of B wave, and then we go down. So A, B, and then C. That's probably what we're going to get. Something like that. So, let's see. ADA. Got some bullish divergence on the 4-hour. Nothing too crazy though. Yeah, so we had a sharp move down, a 3-wave pullback, and then we just took the low here. So is it going to have follow through? Is it going to build a base? Is it going to go into a retrace? You know, it just happened, so we don't have any structure to base it off of. But it looks pretty oversold. But I do like this here. I like this wick. Looks pretty good. Looks like a nice impulse. Maybe we get some kind of ABC in here. And then go up. So it's going to torture us for a little while. It's going to be grueling. It's going to be long. It's going to be frustrating. But I think we just need to be patient. Until if we have any major breakdowns, then of course, you know, things will change. But as long as we're sort of hanging out in these areas, I think we're doing okay. It's definitely not where we want to be, but like for example, ADA is still well above its low here. You know? So if it wanted to, it could actually come all the way back down here and it could still be just as bullish. So hopefully not. right? Hopefully this is just a big 1 and then an ABC2. I don't like the geometry of it, but you know. Theta fuel. So theta fuel, like I said, it was probably not going to be sustainable. There was probably a thin order book and it pumped and then it dumped. But it's not the end. It's actually on sale and it looks pretty good. Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with it so far. We're still holding these lows right in here. So, you know, if we start just going down and down and down, then I would look at this low here. Don't want to break that. So we got a little ways to go. And then as far as theta goes, you know, I'm really hoping this is a fifth, like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But I don't like how big the 4 is and how small the 2 is. Has me worried that it could be a wave 1, 1, 2. And this could be in the middle of the third. And then we get 4. And then we get 5. That would be kind of frustrating. So I didn't get to short this move. I think it happened while I was asleep. So I'm looking for longs if the setup occurs, and right now I don't see it quite yet. So if I could see some structure in here, you know, some 3s, some 5s, then maybe yeah. But until then, it's just kind of a waiting game. So AVAX, same thing. I mean, they're pretty much all the same. Like AVAX just completely took the low here. So you could say that this is 1, 2, 3. This is 4, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have a 5-wave move down, right? Or hopefully it's not a 5. Hopefully it's right here we have a W, X, Y, X, and then Z. And this is 3. 1, 2, 3. I like that. Yeah, that would be kind of my favorite count here for the bulls, right? So if we just do this, and then we come down here. Looks a little funky, but I still like it. It's a triple correction. So definitely want to hold these areas in here. And then we also have, put it this way, either way, I'm expecting a big retracement coming sometime soon. Even if we have to come even lower, like you can see all of this support in here, that's a lot of support. Support, right? And then we even supported it here. So if we have to come down here, which maybe we will, I mean, we're pretty close, then at that point, I would then expect a bigger retracement back up to the upside. And then from there, maybe this could be a big ABC, and then we go up. That would totally suck. But, you know, it's, you know, we got to do what we got to do to get to the promised land, right? And that is just not up to me in terms of time. It's just, you know, because the time's going to pass regardless. You might as well be in crypto, or at least be thinking about adding when you see big dumps like this. So, I mean, you got one here, big one there, and then here. So we want to see a bottom and we want to see a retrace. So let's see if we can get it. And as far as XRP goes, look at XRP. It's kind of pumping up a little bit here on the small time frames. Yeah, if we could flag out like an ABC and then break that would be great. So you got to move, you got an ABC, and you got to pump. Maybe it's a 1-2. So we'll see. Anyways, that'll do it. Appreciate everybody for tuning in, and I wish I had something better to say, but soon I think we will. We'll see it. So I'm dollar cost averaging. I added to some of the positions today. So yeah, we'll see how it plays out, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Cheers.